Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. I'm your host, Rumboyz Robbie. That is TDS Taco. I'm just going to go ahead and get into the ad really quick. Shop GLD, get your GLD just like me. If you guys saw the Dodgers video, that was like just one giant GLD ad because I just had my Dodgers chain, very prominently shown. So make sure you guys shop GLD. Link is down below in the description. Get icy, all right? You got to keep your neck cool out in this heat. I guess this man's trying to see if he can finish his beer by the time I finish my hat. You good? You good? Yeah, that was a beer of holy fuck second child.
Woo!
That's what that was. Dad to dad, I know exactly what that was. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rub boys and girls, what it do. I have tequila. All right, so really quick. You know the mango lemonade from Wendy's?
Yeah.
It's a fucking 1800 and put it up in that.
Good times. Ooh.
Yeah.
Man, got a little bubbly on there. Oof.
And then I'm gonna be doing some shots and then having a beer here as soon as it gets delivered. So check.
Oh yeah.
Let's go ahead. We are going to start off the show. Cheers to me, cheers to you, all the Run Boys and Girls. What it do. Greatly appreciate all of you. If you're brand new, make sure that you subscribe. If you're viewing the content, make sure that you share the content. All right. This is not a show to gatekeep. Like, this is not a community to gatekeep. Pass along the word. Make sure that you guys hit that like button. And also climb the freaking live chat leaderboard. Hello, folks. Hello. Lisa has already jumped in. He said the only YN in the draft is Kashawn Aitchison. Looks real good here. We're going to be talking about the NBA draft throughout the night, later in the night. What up with it? What up, bro, Cal? What up, Cal? I'm actually in the league with Cal, but I need to see. I didn't even check to see when we're going to be drafting.
Oh shit,
Cal,
that's
early.
early.
For Scott Fishbowl, you coming to Denver for Scott Fishbowl, bro? That love in your life gotta look good, fam. Got you looking good. I appreciate it. Yes, my woman got me looking damn good. That and then a lot of golf has been helping with that as well to get me into shape. Okay, you're in Dallas this year. Nice. Climb the leaderboard. Your comments will appear on the screen right next to Taco's noggin. Want to dive right into it. NBA Finals recap. Have not been on air since the battle of the Haliban and the Shy Baba. NBA Finals recap. Is Shy the new face of the NBA? Is the OKC Thunder capable of going back-to-back championships? And then thoughts on this kind of weird Achilles injury trend that's been happening this playoffs. 3 massive Achilles tears. More importantly, Holly, our thoughts go out to you. Our thoughts go out to everyone that's been injured, obviously this season, but that was rough to watch. Taco.
I mean, first and foremost, I would say congratulations to the Thunder. Big ups to my boys, Isaiah Hartenstein, ex-Nick. Nice seeing you win the chip out there, brother. You play with your heart on your sleeve, and that's the kind of shit you like out of a big man, because you like a guy that could hustle, that could go out there, rebound, And that's what that team epitomized. I think when you look at that trade for Caruso, that was a really big trade for them because he was a leader. And I think it highlights, like, yes, it's good to have the young players, but you have to have your leaders and your role models on the team. When I look at a Hartenstein, when I look at a Caruso, they may not be the best players on the team, but they're solid contributors. And I believe that having veterans like that with these young guys is why, probably I think it's one of the youngest teams ever to win an NBA title. They're full of a lot of really young players.
Talent. A
So
lot of young talent.
I think as GMs look at what they've done, you can't underestimate the scrappy veteran that can play defense and can stay out on the floor with the kids. They don't have to be the best players, but they need to be sustainable role players that can sit there and lock in and say, listen, this is what I do. I do it well. I play defense. I pass the ball. I can knock down a shot. No, I'm not SGA, but you know what? When push comes to shove, I can win. And I've won. And that's where, I think Caruso paid dividends for them this year. With that said, I don't see them winning it again this next year, as they were exposed, and we saw a lot of different flaws within them. Because, in my opinion, I thought they would have won a lot easier than they did. They are very reliant on the SGA drawing fouls kind of game, which, in the grand scheme of things, I think this year worked, but you're really dependent on the calls. And I think that in with how competitive the West is, you're gonna have to play injury-free ball and then face some of the toughest competition the NBA has. Lakers are gonna be crazy. If Kyrie comes back, the Mavericks are gonna be crazy. You can't discount Denver. What is this? Ant is really showing up and showing out over there in Minnesota. So the West is a gauntlet. So it's hard to give anyone the favorite. Like, I feel like it's much easier to say, and I don't want to be a homer here, but a team in the East like the Knicks to come out of the East because everyone's hurt, than even to say like a team like not even win the title, but to go back to the title next year, I think would be hard for OKC. It's just too competitive in the West. The field is just too tough. The last thing I'll touch on is you said the Achilles injuries. And I think with Halliburton, he was overcompensating for his calf injury, I feel like. And that's led to some of his to his particular issue. In general, I think the athletes push themselves, how much more athletic they are, how much they're pushing the human body just during training, how much more training they do compared to the guys in the 70s. That is putting more wear and tear on their bodies than they've ever had before. So it makes sense that some of these guys are breaking down in towards the end of a long, rough season. With that said, it's kind of tough to think of what you could do to remedy it, but I would love to see some more studies based on something that Cameron had said.
Wow. We're quoting Killer right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, on the Up and Smoke podcast, he's had some interesting and actually logical takes.
Some very interesting takes about a lot of things.
He brought up that we're seeing more injuries now. That the guys are wearing low tops and 3/4. That's wearing high tops like before.
I did see that. I did see that clip.
And I want to make sure I attribute it to him because I didn't the one that come up with it. But I would like to see more information based on the type of shoes that you're wearing, and does that impact the protection that your ankle has? And if you going to high tops would mitigate your injury, but maybe it just becomes a sprain instead of a Achilles. You know what I'm saying? So that is something that we saw back in the day. They all wear high tops. It was high tops and short shorts. So that is something that I really would love to get some more information on, and to see if that the way that it's able to support your foot, it creates maybe less impact or gives you enough bracing during some of these movements. But I think between something like that and the consistent training that the players are doing now that they never did, and with new weights and trying to become more explosive, I think that can lead to some of the problems that we see.
So, first thing, I'll kind of start with OKC and their ability to be able to go back to the finals. I do agree with you. The field is very tough. The West absolutely fucking is a gauntlet. OKC, you had a lot of things fall correctly your way, namely a lot of those foul calls. But even if you take away the 3-point shooting, this team was still one of the most dominant teams in the West. They do have a good young nucleus. The contract situation, because a lot of these guys are still young, you can figure out, you have enough time where you can figure out what pieces exactly you need to keep around and figure out, deals and how to work the numbers to be able to keep, a J Dub around. To keep, obviously, Shy has to remain, right? I mean, he's the cornerstone. To keep, Chet around. I think that they're going to try and, keep those guys together on that team as long as humanly fucking possible. And then obviously, Hardestein, Caruso, those will be like the pieces that kind of get moved around, so on and so forth. With that being said and stated, though, I don't think that either of those teams that we saw in the finals are we're going to see them next year in the finals. Even the East is super competitive. You were talking about the West and gave the West a lot of credit. I mean, hell, the Cavs looked like a damn good fucking team last year. The Knicks, I think, are still going to be right there, dead in that heat, dead in that hunt, neck and neck. So, all in all, I really like what we got out of the finals this year. I thought it was one of the more entertaining finals up until the calf injury and then obviously the Achilles. Uh, I do want to segue into that Achilles talk really quick. I don't think that it's necessarily the shoes. I more so kind of agree with what Matt Barnes kind of said, where he attributes it to the AAU games. These guys are coming up as youngins, and they're playing so many games. When I played AAU, I did not play nearly as many fucking games as kids play now. And we're talking about kids. At the end of the day, these are still youngins. You keep putting those miles on the body, We talk about it in football, especially at the running back position, and how like the shelf life is back. You put miles on your body at a young age when you're able to dunk. You talk about coming down from the rim, and then coming down even just from rebounding. You're talking about what the body takes, diving for the ball, taking some of those serious foul calls. After a while, it damages. Then the constant back and forth running. There's about 101, 111 possessions in an NBA game. So I think that it more so needs to be attributed to that, the miles that get put on these kids. Give me one moment.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really interesting perspective, and when you couple in like even college, how many boo, 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 boo. Woo. All right. So, like I was saying, even in the college game and the high school game, I can understand how that can impact it. And again, I'll go back to the same thing with training. Between playing more games than ever and training harder than ever with new different training regimens, that has to have some sort of impact because everyone's trying to get the best edge that they can. And when doing stuff like that, it tends to lead you down roads we haven't seen before. Like, how does your body handle that consistent wear and tear? Is this a byproduct of the consistent explosive moves that you're trying to make on these Achilles and legs and these tendons over a prolonged or elongated period of time when you're younger? Maybe there's a certain age where you don't do quite as much damage. Like these are things that you kind of have to study the human body, study the recovery, study what happens during, and you'd have to track the players. So I mean, when you really think about it, because of the college games that we have, that could be an interesting study. Although when you see how many players from colleges end up in the NBA, I guess tracking those particular players becomes an interesting case study that you could pull in some of these bigger universities and have them, really analyze players and follow them throughout their career and have them go back for testing and baseline studies and stuff like that. But I mean, when you have this much money invested in the game, I think even investing in the research part and sharing the findings and going over it and even like a podcast setting, I think would be very enlightening for so many, as you consider how many people are coaching and teaching on the younger levels that really don't have access to that kind of information, nor would they be able to ever get access to it. So I think it's an interesting opportunity to figure out really what's going on, and with these higher learning institutions having first cracked is an interesting perspective. All right, so what do we see? Nobody was safe in the fourth quarter versus the Knicks, even with the lead. Yeah, I mean, we were balling for a little bit, but I think that we got a little too full of ourselves when that Pacers series started, and when Hallie and I think it was Matherin that just went off for 8 for 8 from 3-point range. It was fucking ridiculous, bro. At that moment, I started to feel nervous, and then that crazy Hallie shot was just like fucking crazy. It was just fucking crazy because it just bounced all the way up and went out. But yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie, the Pacers, I did not think they were that good. I didn't think that they deserved to be there. But when you saw the way they played in the finals, that's a deep team that can really play defense, that has some good shooting. I'm really interested to see what happens to the Pacers, but even without Halliburton, I feel like that team could be really interesting, but I just don't see them going anywhere near where they were when you consider that Halliburton had this clutchness about him that you don't really see that often, where you can take and make these big shots. It was actually kind of crazy because he would have bad games, but then come the end of the game, he'd deliver. So you hate to see players like that get hurt, players like Tatum. But next year, the East is going to be wide open. I would love to see what happens with the 76ers because the 76ers have a lot of talent. They had a top pick. I mean, when you have Embiid, Paul George, Maxey, I forgot the kid that they had, but he was damn near rookie of the year, the one that paints his fingernails. He was playing his ass off. Then you add in another player with a third pick, just that you could develop, that you can continue to the mix. I think the 76ers for now and for the future are going to be an interesting team. And really, if Paul George can come back and establish himself as the player that he's always been, I think you're looking at a monster team because we already know Embiid is a fucking monster. And if you could just give the young guys time to develop while you rest Embiid, even if you don't have a top 4 seed, you're going to be dirty come the playoffs because all you really need is a healthy Embiid who could take you to the post, take you from 3, and get you consistent points and minutes. I saw that they brought back Dre Drummond, so that they have a legit, center that they could play when Embiid doesn't play, where you can have these, younger guards out there and they can they can chuck it up and know that you got a guy like Dre Drummond down there to get the offensive rebounds. I just really like what I'm seeing out of the 76ers potential. And this is speaking as a Knicks guy. That's going to be one of the teams that we're going to have to really look out for come the playoffs and come next season. I think the Pistons have an interesting team. Asur, Cade, I mean, Jaden Ivory, I'd be really interested to see how he develops over the year. Jalen Duran is a really interesting centerpiece that they have there. So that's another interesting team. The team in the West that, obviously we're all interested to see what happens with is Kevin Durant going to the Rockets. I think that's a really kind of crazy move. I think the Rockets are set up to be like really fucking scary. Like I like them better than the Thunder next year from the standpoint of I think Thompson is a fucking monster. That dude could be a two-way superstar. and defensively, he could be the best defender in the game. Sengun is a monster as well. You got Baby Jokic in him. You still keep Smith. Fred VanVleet, when we're talking about veterans that play a role and are leaders, that's exactly what you get in Fred VanVleet. He is someone that I think that when you talk about clutch, and you talk about having someone that could really complement Kevin Durant, that's what he is. When you think about how good, defensively Thompson is and how good of a passer Sengun is, it really lends to a guy like KD being able to go off for 35 while everyone else kind of gets theirs and stays in the mix. KD becomes that ultimate closer that can ISO, that can, take you on the block, that can pretty much do anything that you need for that final shot, while still giving you the lockdown defender in any situation that you're looking at, whether it be Thompson or, I think that Smith has tons of upside that we really haven't even gotten into yet. Jalen Green, I really think that he had a horrible showing in the playoffs, and that contributed to them moving off of him. I think that he is a little young-minded, and you could tell from the way that he plays on the court. I think that for him, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Phoenix, because with Devin Booker there, I don't know. I don't see that as being a great like a great pairing. And then you still have Bradley Beal. So, in the long run, I think that the Suns have a clear objective that they want to be competitive. But I think that probably come near the deadline, they'll move off of a guy like Green and see if they can get some additional assets, unless he could really show that he meshes. I think Bradley Beal is going to be bummed out right now because, like, where does Bradley Beal go from this? Like, I don't see like where his future really goes. He's an undersized scoring guard that doesn't really play defense, and now he can barely score. So this is a potential recipe for a really crappy team where they might make the play-in because D-Book is that good, and you got some interesting centers that you could play there. But I think that they're going to have to make a move. I was really shocked at some of the moves that we're seeing from Memphis, trading whatchamacallit, trading Bane. That was and you getting 5 picks for him. I think that's a bit crazy. Oh, Robbie, what's going on?
All righty. Way to go. Good job stalling, Taco. Good fucking job. I'm now going to heavily sip this tequila. I have no idea what you just stalled about, what you just talked about. It's whatever. One thing I do just want to add on to our NBA topic that I did have. No, Shai is definitely not the face of the league. I think that we're in an era right now where the NBA is going to kind of go through figuring out who that is, or if even it's going to be somebody that's still up and coming or an incumbent. You have so many superstars right now with Shai, with Holly, with Ant, like you mentioned.
We all know it's going to be Ant.
They're going to try and make it Ant, but Ant's probably not going to necessarily be the face just because of the whole not having a ring yet. So he needs to get that done first, and then
I'll agree that he doesn't have the ring, but he has the swag. His swag is, because here's the thing, for the NBA, you don't necessarily need him to carry the ring, so long as he carries the culture, which I think he does, because the way he has this Jordan Kobe-esque vibe while still balling out on the court. And he's young enough that he can kind of get a pass because he's gotten really far. I would say in 3 years, if he doesn't do anything, then a guy like Wemby definitely just kind of snatches that.
Yeah, I think that it's people like to align themselves with winners. So that's the only reason why I'm
I mean, he went to conference finals, so it's not like he's Final Four.
It's that
you can only last on that for so long, I'll say.
Yeah.
But for now, he can do it.
Really quick, favorite picks from the NBA draft. I am shocked that the Wizards got some fucking steals. Like Clayton still being there, that was completely unexpected. That was completely unexpected. Here's a bet. Will the face of the NBA be an American? Probably not at this rate. Yeah, well, no, he went to no. Yeah, the Jazz ended up getting Clayton. Hold on, I'm pulling up the draft.
Kyle, when I tell you this, the NBA
draft
wants Cooper Flag to be so good, so bad.
Cooper Flag's gonna be great. Okay, yeah. No, the Wizards had ended up trading Walter Clayton to Utah. Utah's in a unique situation because then they also like got Ace Bailey, and Ace Bailey doesn't want to be there. Like that was a little bit of a weird kind of situation.
I can't remember who it was. It doesn't matter where you want to be.
I think that somebody kind of told him to kind of like stop being a fucking baby, like stop crying, like bro, like you just got like drafted, like shut the fuck up.
Like bro, you're not Steve Francis. You're not about that life.
Yeah, gotta love the Dylan Harper pick. Obviously. I don't know how I feel about Memphis. Memphis is a little weird. It's a little weird, with the Cedric Howard getting traded to Memphis from Portland, and then Portland kind of ending up in a scenario where they ended up with the guy that they also, maybe not so much wanted to be there either. Doesn't seem like anyone wants to kind of be in Portland, to be honest. Doesn't seem like very many people are fucking happy to end up in Portland, which I find freaking interesting. Of course, Memphis was going to get Yang, but then because of the trade with Portland ended up getting themselves out of the situation where, okay, now you end up with Yang, who was supposed to be a day 2 guy, a second rounder guy. Like,
to me, I think the number one pick I'm most interested in, and we kind of talked about it while you were away, is the pick that the 76ers got. The two-way guard, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Edgecombe. That could be the potential for
Edgecombe.
Yeah, I think that because of the landing spot, I think that could be really fucking interesting because that's a team where you have a really good backcourt. You're young, you're athletic, you could play both sides of the ball. He's the kind of guy where he gets drafted 3rd pick and might be in the finals next year.
Yeah, that's what a fuck ton of picks. Dude, yeah, what the hell are the Suns doing? The Suns having 3 centers, like just hoarding centers for no apparent reason.
Well, I mean, when you have 3 guards like Book, Green, and Beal, your guards are going to get beat and you're going to need some sort of rim protection and you're going to need rebounding. So I kind of get that. Mark Williams really didn't cost them that much. He's someone I know the Lakers were interested in because of his ability to run to the rim. But the question really is going to be the kid that they drafted in the 1st round, what is his ability to score? He just can't be all defense. He has to be able to score. And that's what I'm really interested to see.
I agree with this here. Yeah, the Derek Queen on the Hawks. That's going to be nice. That's going to be nice. And also, I just got to throw it out there. If y'all ain't seen freaking Lachlan Ulbrich kiss the rim, the kid has hops. The kid has bunnies. you know. And he played on that Alabama team, and that Alabama team, you know, they can play ball down there. They can play ball down there. So interested to or no, he played in Australia. I'm sorry, but I'm interested to see. I don't know why I said Alabama, but
football over there.
I mean, who else came from Australia? What's his name? Oh my God.
LaMelo Ball go to Australia?
He went over there to play. There was a player that played in Australia that came over here. And I'm trying to remember his
Dante
name.
Exum?
No. Light skin.
Ben Simmons played, I think, in Australia, did he?
Was it? No, I don't think it was Giddy. It's a light skin nigga. Oh yeah, Hawks. Yeah. Hawks did fuck up in trade. New Orleans screwed themselves over. New Orleans
I don't understand
themselves over.
Like, who does New Orleans think they are?
Like you giving up back like multiple number ones. Like just move back 10 fucking picks.
Yeah.
Like I think it might have been no. I'm trying to think. I cannot remember. It was a light skin.
Steven Adams?
Yes. Pelicans trade their 2026 first unprojected pick. Yeah, like that was
that makes no sense.
That was dumb. Like this isn't the NFL. Like these picks are super valuable. Like I mean picks are valuable in general in any sport. Like I feel like in the NBA, like these are super valuable.
Because you know why in the NBA, I feel like, especially for these next coming drafts, allegedly, there's so much talent, and there's only so many spots. Like you only play 5. You know what I mean? And you have like a bench depth now, which is being developed more than ever.
And most of them are getting sent to the fucking G League, so it's like you're still competing against other people that are competing to make a team. They're like, be on a team.
Yeah.
So it's like there's not even a guarantee. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, that New Orleans was dumb for that. Want to get into some rankings. Want to start ranking some shit. It's just about that time. This is kind of that time of the year where we basically transition. We basically transition into getting back into the fantasy football swing of things. Although OTAs may be over, although the NFL is technically in its off season, 40 days when you're still having shit take place. Like it may not be everyone in the building and in the locker room and all the coaches and everything. Like players are still off working out. Teams are still picking up the phone, hey, like inquiring and shit. But quote unquote in their off season, Titan University just wrapped up, and every day we basically near the start of training camps. All right, preseason, and just more importantly, we near our fantasy football drafts. Tonight, for this first segment, we're going to talk about 2 different position groups, but for this segment, we're going to talk about tight ends. All right. I'm going to give you 5, and we're going to rank them. After going through our rankings, you can justify your rankings. All right. We're going to kind of go like not necessarily that top. We're not doing like the top 3-ish, but like it's kind of like that still kind of top half getting into that middle tier. Travis Kelce, Evan Ingram, TJ Hawkinson, Dallas Goedert, Mark Andrews. Rank them from top to bottom heading into this year, how you would rank these. In what particular order you'd be drafting them off of your board.
All right. So I really hate that I was burned, and I watched the team get burned multiple times with Andrews. So I hope that my being jaded doesn't reflect. But I would say Kelsey 1, Hawk 2, Andrews 3, Ingram 4, Goddard 5. I'm looking at it from the perspective of Travis Kelsey's in his final year. Him and Mahomes got that rapport. I expect him to ball out on his send off year and on a great note. Probably have 10 tutties. Probably has like damn near 1,000 yards. Probably has at least 80 catches. It's a tight end we're talking about. So when you consider that he's not even going in the top 5 tight ends this season, I think he'll end up turning on your value meter. While I do agree that last season it didn't look the same, I will say that with him committing himself, knowing that it's the final year, I expect it to be a little bit different, and I do expect it to be better. TJ Hawk coming off a full year of surgery, having Sammy there, it's a little bit unknown. We really don't know what we're gonna get, but I tend to not having Sammy there. You're really hoping that McCarthy is gonna feature his tight end. So again, we really don't know what we're gonna get there. But I tend to lean on his talent and his ability when I compare him to a Mark Andrews, who has Isaiah Likely there and had a horrible fucking offseason, or not offseason, but playoffs, where everyone's only talking about how he really fucked up that catch. And he had a bunch of moments like that last year where you kind of were like, oh my God, do I keep playing Andrews? And then he goes off and then it's back to trash. So I think Andrews, you can't write him off completely because his upside is still there. His top end talent is still there, but you don't feel really comfortable when you draft him. And it's just sometimes a situation of there's nobody left that's better, and you just want to fill in the position. So, again, we're ranking these 5. Ingram, man, he could be such a wild card because you don't really know what's going on with the passing game, considering the players they got rid of.
Well, first I'll do my rankings.
Yeah, I mean, because his catching game is like ridiculous as far as like in PPR. Like, not saying that he's a fucking great catcher, but he's just gonna get like from the way that Trevor plays, this dude might get damn near 100 catches.
So I find it interesting, and this is also why we've been doing this on like the last couple of episodes recently. I feel like it's a super important exercise. I find it interesting what ADP is on these guys, and I'll kind of spill that at the end. And where we personally value them. For me, some of these guys are getting a little long in the tooth. Like let's face it. I also want to think about the systems that these teams are going to be playing in. I also want to take into account what I don't want to take fully into account what these players did last season, but I do want to take into account what they had to deal with and the adversities that they may have had to overcome last season that could impact heading into this season. A lot of people may want Goddard to be a hotter commodity than what could be actually given put out, just given the fact that there's already so many mouths feed on that Philadelphia Eagles team, and Saquon, being there, they're going to really be focusing on run first. I still think that's going to be their philosophy, and I think that Saquon is basically like, hey, ride the wheels off until they fucking fall off. We only got a little bit of time. I wasted a bunch of years with the Giants not getting rings. You guys can get me rings, so let's go.
Oh, go fuck it.
I'm just keeping it real. So I am going to put Goddard at the bottom for me out of these 5. Having a new quarterback and then also playing in the same system as Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. And don't get me wrong, Aaron Jones still has some left in the tank. I am going to put Hawkinson fourth. I think that Hawkinson could easily be third out of this group, and could maybe even make a push for being second out of this group because a tight end or a rookie quarterback's best friend is their tight end in the passing game. But nah, like I'm going to be apprehensive with that one. So Hawkinson will be fourth for me. I am going to go Mark Andrews as 3 just because I know that is Lamar's favorite target. I said in the Ravens clip that was published this week, everyone can't go out there and get it done for you, Lamar. We see how limited Zay Flowers, even though how talented he is, but we see how limited he is. I still can't make heads from tails of what the Rashad Bateman fucking signing was supposed to be. It's just I guess, they have D-Hop there. He's a shell of himself at this point. So it's really just Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, and Lamar Jackson. With Zay Flowers popping off every couple of weeks or so as a flex at best. So
likely doesn't factor in at all to you? Because he was showing up a lot.
I mean, likely is a factor on that offense as well, but I still think that we're not at the point yet, of being oh yeah, it's for sure, we at best we'll be having a conversation this year potentially of likely, it looks like he's ready to take over the team. It's obvious even in the dead heat of a fucking moment, playoff on the line, Mark Andrews is who the fuck Lamar trusts. That's not going to go away just because of that instant. If anything, they probably fueled and got a lot closer, And then there's also just a lot of things that likely can't do. So he doesn't get to be on the field as much as Mark Andrews because of all the different things that Mark Andrews can do. So that's kind of where it's like cool. You're awesome when it's like I fear for my Mark Andrews shares on the snaps that likely is on the field, but they're not on the field all at the same time all the time like that. So that's where Mark Andrews has the more value. At 2, I am going to go Evan Ingram. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go Travis Kelce here. I'm actually going
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
I'm going Travis Kelce here. And I'm also basing this, I'm not saying I'm basing this off of where I also think that they're going to end too. Putting that many miles on your fucking body. And I don't think the Chiefs are going to be the same Chiefs. Realistically speaking, honestly speaking, Kelce will he'll get his targets, but we kind of saw how that connection was between those two last year. And then Evan Ingram, absolutely first for me. Just with Bo Nix and everything that he was capable of doing.
I mean, Evan Ingram has a ton of upside. We've seen Evan Ingram eat. But Evan Ingram's consistency is something that I do fear. It is something I fear quite often because I've been victim to it between his hamstrings getting hurt and his drops. Evan Ingram is someone that I don't know. I get where Robbie's going with it. He does have a ton of upside, and I can see him easily finishing if he reaches his potential as that player there. Particularly if you factor in that with Denver's offense, he could get a lot of touches, and Bo Nix is evolving and seemingly becoming a really good quarterback. I don't know. I mean, I guess considering where you probably could draft him, it'll be a good fit, but I don't know. And Leafs, I mean, that's the argument that we always love. Who's there? and then all of a sudden someone's there. It's just the player, I feel like, that gives me more cause to pause. Like, I just don't know if I could trust Evan Ingram over some of those other guys. I do think at the price that you're getting Travis Kelce, and compared to all the other years, expecting him to have a final season where he's in the top 5 of tight ends, I that's a gamble I would take. Looking at it right now, Kelsey's the eighth tight end off the board. Now, Ingram is 11th at for the 11th tight end to be Evan Ingram, and I get him, I'd be extremely happy. And I could see, Robbie's perspective of Ingram ending that high. Yes. And I do think that that tier is a bit wonky as we see, Jonnu and Tucker Kraft. I think that Ingram could pass them. He could definitely pass Mark Andrews, I feel like. Hawkinson, again, that's a wishy-washy situation. We're just not sure what the rookie quarterback is going to be able to do. Like, will he be able to deliver? So, I can definitely easily justify and see, Robbie's placement of Evan Ingram, particularly based on ADP and tier. Him coming out as the number 1 tight end out of this group is a realistic possibility. I feel like Dallas Goedert is by far and away not even considered in this class. I think that you definitely have to put these other 4 tight ends in a separate tier, in my opinion. I honestly, in one tight end, 14-team leagues, wouldn't be drafting Dallas Goedert. But yeah.
All right. What y'all throw out there?
I was just kind of supporting your Ingram case.
Yep. Yeah. There's nobody. Yeah. There's pretty much nobody there. I mean, they're going to be relevant just because of how talented Bo is, and the way that Bo can extend plays with his legs. But I really think that Evan Ingram is going to have one hell of a season. And I do think that, I know Travis said that he wants to play, at least a couple more seasons. I don't know. Why should you keep doing this to yourself, Travis? So that's how I would rank them. We are going to get into halftime, which is a perfect time for fucking halftime, because I'm going to reset up some shit here. On the other side, yo, he is over on Twitch going off about the NHL draft. On the other side of the show, let's see here. We do have some more players that we're going to rank. We do have UFC picks that we need to get done. And yeah, all that and much, much, much more. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly. We love and appreciate you. We'll be back in a few.
No pressure. Hey, come take a trip with me, little babe. Take a trip with me, I said. Take a trip with me. I said, take a trip with me. I said, take a trip with me, little babe. No pressure. Hey, take a trip with me, little babe. No liquor, we shopping when we land. ATL to MIA, come put your feet up in the sand. I almost gave up 1,000 times, I had to stick to the plan. Hey, fuck that, we finna figure this out. Why these niggas tryna box me out? Hey, rest in peace, the flipper. Yeah, you know I'm on the paper route. My third eye open for them niggas who tryna snake me out. I know these niggas watching, I'm driving home, I'm taking a different route. I'ma run that set so bad, I'ma make these niggas won't kill me now. Hey, they ain't picture me like this. VS on my neck and wrist. Hey, shout out to T Grizzly, you know we do this shit with no effort, bitch. Hey, you know it's no pressure word. I need me a no pressure, bitch. I beat a nigga ass like Rocky and Riri on my bucket list. Hey, I'ma go get that money. I'ma go get a bag. I'ma go get that money, my nigga. I'ma go get a bag. I'm pulling up with my brothers, we back to back, we paper tag. I'm thumbing through them blues, I'm riding around the city, I'm bumping sad, bitch. I'ma go get that money. I'ma go get a bag. I'ma go get that money, my nigga. I'ma go get a bag. I'm pulling up with my brothers, we back to back, we paper tag. I'm thumbing through them blues, blues. I'm around the city, I'm bumping sad, bitch. I'ma go get this money. If I don't, it's still gon' come to me. Lowe's in the living room. Right now, I don't want no company. Still with my day ones, how it started, like it's supposed to be. Trap, nigga, pull up serving bowls, bumping Jodeci. I pull up that, Reback got that. No, this ain't baby, but 4 pockets fat. Buy this no pressure shit, I'm dying, bitch, I'm sliding by this shit. You want the recipe, get you a brick of shit, get rich. I got a rollie on my wrist, I'm chasing pay, can't chase no bitch. Top of the top, I'm up early, I'm working hard, I'm getting rich. A marathon for that paper, I'm bumping sad, I'm bumping nil. I'm pouring double cups of real little bitch, but you know I'm a crip, no pressure. Ain't no pressure, big business, kill 'em all, leave no witness. Pockets filled with blue, rest in peace, dog, rest in peace. And look back, she fuck with the kid, she say that she gon' try heal me. Pouring juice in double cups, when I get in my feelings, no pressure. Hey, I'ma go get that money, I'ma go get a bag. I'ma go get that money, my nigga, I'ma go get a bag. I'm pulling up with my brothers, we back to back, we paper tag. I'm thumbing through them blues, I'm around the city, I'm bumping sad, bitch. I'ma go get that money, I'ma go get a bag. I'ma go get that money, my nigga, I'ma go get a bag. I'm pulling up with my brothers, we back to back, we paper tag. I'm thumbing through them blues, I'm around the city, I'm bumping sad, bitch.
I ain't waiting a second, I'm going in now. No freestyling, no this and pin pal shit. See, I don't make moves to get rich, shuffle quick. And I only fuck with bitches who be slobbing on that. I can get nasty, but I'm usually with a cash beat. Rolling weed, sitting back, blowing shit to Cassie. I ain't doing it for the rich way, so I brought rich Ray. When I come around like Dom, that look this way. Right into my own shit, I swear I be doing the most shit. Give you hits like Tyson and giving you vibes like Bryson. Certain things in life be so expensive, but I buy them. Certain things in life be so enticing, but I can't try them. You looking for what you looking for, yeah, I'm the item. I'll hold you down forever, you my nigga, yeah, item. I'm coming for what you say, you hold, I'm all about it. Linked up, turn a beat up, now we clouded. Feet up on heat up, red Jordan 1s. Niggas needing shows, I'm clapping shit, man, I'm the chosen one. Neck wrist on freezer like magnet. On my tiger target and Chris Brown, I can handle it.
Let me handle it, smoking like the candle lit. Any beat I study, break it down and then dismantle it. Competition challenge it, I'm dealing with some damages. Juggle lots of life, but now I'm learning how to manage it. I've been to the bottom of bottoms, I never been to the top. I pop some bottles with models, I see my friends getting shot. I sip to drown in my sorrows, I smoke a weed by the lot. I stand and post on the corner, you'll never look. I ball like a piston, you'll never play my position. You catching what I'm pitching, I'm switching, no contradiction. I'm fishing for opposition, no vision and optimism. I wish I was kinda different, but I know my mind is different. I see them bitches smiling, long as she happy. I'm on the beat violin with my nigga T Savvy. We go back in the day and bring the heat. Cali, you ain't got nothing to say. The nigga be silent. Hey buddy, don't say shit. Everybody cap, changing faces like a facelift. They think they all that. Trust me, bitch, you just basic. In 20 years, you'll be looking back, wishing to erase it.
And I'm too savvy, I'ma get it to the end of my days. And I'll be only blowing smoke if it's that Jenny A. You say you always keep a 9, but niggas, I always keep an 8. Niggas straight in my face with that cap, it's okay. Niggas stay with a fresh cut, need it, no way. I can't take these niggas serious like all the brothers Wayans. I just be adding up experience while I'm changing up my wins. And I got my own condo, so I just change it how it's laid.
And me? I'm never changing lanes. I got a better way to demonstrate and elevate the game. I keep a level-headed saying I told the devil pave the way. If ever I see there's a day, I'll disappear like David Blaine. I never had it from magic, I had to grab it from tragic. Sometimes I wish like Aladdin, get thrown the pits with the dragons. Imagine living in lavish, I wanna get it, I have it. I remember shit in the trash cans, in the trenches in Afghan. But I made it back to the States, made it back to being black. And now they laugh in my face. With all that's happening, it's so hard to say this place is so great. So on the track I found my faith and put my faith in the tape. Yeah.
Savvy, Richard Ray, and that's it. Oh yeah, Young Savvy Lifestyle. Peace.
Alrighty, we are back. Hi. I like being able to like like whenever I get off of like that final hour of fucking work, where I could just like have my normal like streaming setup like back. Like my goodness, ugh, so annoying. Alrighty, so we are back. We have plenty more players that we have to rank here, and we have a lot more to talk about. A lot more to talk about. Just to review really quick, Taco, what were your tight end rankings really fast?
I went Kelsey 1. I went Hawk 2, Andrews 3, Ingram 4, and Goddard a distant 5.
I went Ingram, Kelsey, Andrews, Hawk, Goddard. So there's our tight ends. Getting into ranking some wide receivers, all right? We're going kind of middle of the pack here based off ADP. Oh, really quick, one thing I did want to do really fast for those tight ends, I want to give the ADP for where those are kind of going as of right now. So right now, Mark Andrews is tight end 5, Hawkinson's tight end 6, Ingram's tight end 7, Kelsey's tight end 8, Goddard is tight end 13. So with the Super Bowl ring and all, fantasy managers are still not in on Goddard. I like that. We're going to talk about wide receivers here really quick. Now, this group of guys is pretty interesting. I feel like kind of similar to tight end is a position group that, I feel like this year is going to have a lot of movement within those ranks. I feel like wide receiver is going to have a lot of movement in these ranks as well. A couple of these guys have new quarterbacks, so that makes this rankings, quite interesting. And a couple of these guys, they're staying with their guys. We have Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Devonta Smith. So basically, every receiver per ADP is from 15 down. Kill announcing the Predators pick. That's nice. All right, Taco, give us your wide receivers.
I would go Smith last. I would go Garrett Wilson second to last. DK Metcalf third to last. Terry McLaurin is second, and Tyreek Hill is 1 just because he still has that potential to be the fucking super demigod that puts up a million bajillion points with 200 yards and a couple of tutties any fucking week. But he also now has this really weird risk of getting, I feel like, in trouble. I don't know. There's just something about him that really these days is screaming like, yeah, I might be healthy all year and do something really stupid and fucking get suspended. Because he's seemingly getting wilder. He's heading more down the AB path than I'd like him to. So I want to also put that buyer beware out there.
Okay. For me, this is quite different, and these positions, this grouping of 5 receivers, it's so interesting to where I'm shocked that some of their ADPs are where they are. In all honesty, I am going to go Tyreek Hill last. It's not because of the reasons that you voiced. Those are that's a damn good risk assessment. To be like, hey, you know, I think this guy's starting, head down a path like maybe the CTE starting to fucking kick it in. I don't think that Tua stays healthy long enough to keep Tyreek productive. I'm putting Tyreek last not because of Tyreek. I'm putting Tyreek last out of these guys because he is getting older. It does seem like he is a little bit more focused on the whole social media aspect of things and everything like that. He is kind of starting to become a little bit of a diva, even in Miami. The same shit that he was doing in KC, he's starting to do in Miami. He doesn't really have a whole hell of a lot of football left in him, and he's even said that. He's like, hey, this is probably going to be my last season. And just like I said, I mean, I don't trust Tua. I don't. McDaniels is going to be out there this season coaching for his fucking life. And I don't even know if playoffs is enough to save his job at this point. Maybe. But I don't know. And you brought up a very valid point there. I am gonna go Devontae fourth. Kind of the same reason why I had Goddard last before. It's gonna be a run first, run heavy offense. You also have AJ Brown, but Devontae's gonna eat and he's gonna get his, and he has to be a part of this offensive scheme if the Eagles are gonna make a run. So I think that Devontae the Slim Reaper will still be fairly profitable for your fantasy teams. I'm going to go DK at third. And it's tough. It's tough because him and the person I'm going to say at second could easily flip-flop with each other. But I think that Aaron Rodgers is definitely on his last leg. How the chemistry is going to work between those two, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. I get that. Rodgers might be, prone to wanting to get him the ball a lot. He's going to have to. DK's a diva. He's a fucking crash out. He's going to be fighting DBs fucking 30 yards downfield. But I think that he'll have a good enough season just because he's outside of Freiermuth in that passing game. Who the fuck else are you throwing the ball to? For real. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson at second. And I know that I'm going to regret it. And I know that I'm probably going to be like, well, damn, I probably could have gotten away with putting Tyreek Hill second. And maybe not staying as bad. I do trust Garrett Wilson. I think that he has a lot that he still wants to prove. It's going to be interesting with the new quarterback. And a quarterback that also likes to run. To see if Garrett Wilson can still put up numbers. But I'm not completely out on the Garrett Wilson experiment quite yet. How much of him I'll have in comparison to the rest of these guys, I'll probably end up trusting everyone else, even Hill a little bit more. But I think that Garrett Wilson is primed for a very nice season. And then McLaurin is one for me, just because you have Jaden Daniels throwing you the fucking out of this whole grouping. You have the better quarterback out of the whole fucking grouping. Yes, Leafs, you can be like, oh, you're being biased. No, it's not even about the fucking bias. He has the best quarterback out of the grouping. Straight up. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Aaron Rodgers is on his fucking last leg. Tua fucking gets smacked around every fucking given opportunity. You know, Justin Fields, I think that Justin Fields is going to have a really great season underneath the Jets. I really do. I think that Justin Fields is going to unleash and make the NFL pay for what has happened with his last two destinations, with his last two homes. And it's no offense to Devontae. It's just that offense is not primed on passing. They're not. They can turn it up on you anytime that they want, but they don't have to. They really don't have to, especially during the regular season as much. They can really save those pass catchers and try and keep them healthy for the fucking playoffs, which is kind of what they did last year, if you think about it. Think about all the A.J. Brown managers that were pissed off last year, So that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. Anything that you want to add or disagree with there, Taco?
No.
No?
I mean, I think it's a bit wild, but I mean, listen, I could understand the rationale behind it all. I mean, listen, I don't agree with Hill being last, but for the most part, it just seems like you just bumped Hill down and pretty much put everyone else the same way I kind of had it. I'm a little bit worried with Fields throwing Wilson the bar. But okay.
Yeah, the Fields, me putting Garrett Wilson that high does honestly scare me. Like, I honestly feel like I'm jumping the gun on what Justin Fields could be, but I think I just love revenge narratives so damn much that I think that that's really what's doing it. That's really what's fueling it. Whereas, you know what? Fuck it. I'll put Garrett Wilson at 5. Let me temper expectations. I'll put Garrett Wilson at 5, and then I'll put Hill at 4. I'll put Wilson down at 5. Give me DK with old ass Rodgers at 4. I'll put Smith at 3. Hill at 2. Terry at 1. I feel a little more comfortable with that. I feel a little bit more comfortable with that. I feel like at first I let the revenge narrative just be like, yeah, Justin Fields is gonna fucking go off, and that's probably not gonna happen, given how his last 2 stints have gone. He's never made a wide receiver prevalent in his career yet, so yeah, let me temper expectations. As far as where these 5 fall in ADP, again, I'm actually quite shocked how everyone's going out there and drafting early on, and how guys are well, ECR actually, but how analysts are ranking them. Fantasy Pros has ECR as Garrett Wilson 15, McLaurin 16. So that's a little weird. Let's see here. Who else do we have on this list? Give me 1 second. Tyreek Hill is all the way down at 21. Yeah, Tyreek Hill all the way down at 21. DK at 22. Devontae at 24. So yeah, quite interesting how they have that list. I think people are a little too excited about Garrett Wilson still. Yeah. Alrighty. So, of course, months and months ago, we had the NFL draft, and you'd expect that rookies would have signed and would have, done the natural thing, the normal thing. But heading into the weekend and less than a month from training camp, only 2 of the NFL's 32 second-round draft picks have signed. Deals are stalled over whether or not contracts will be fully guaranteed. The only 2 2025 second-round picks that have now signed are Cleveland's Carson Swishinger and Houston's Jaden Higgins. So second rounders, not too happy about their pay. What are your thoughts on this situation going on? I mean, obviously these kids are gonna fucking sign. Like, at some point they're gonna sign. Should they be getting fully guaranteed?
I mean, I'm just not really sure how you can hold out or what you're holding out for in this situation when these contracts are pretty much determined.
No.
Like there isn't much change that that's gonna occur. So I don't know. Like, what is the point in what they're doing? That's kind of where I'm at. Like, you're trying to make trying to hold out from OTAs. So you have to go to OTAs, but you're a rookie. So like you should be trying to get in there.
Oh no, they're rookies. They're definitely for damn sure not holding out.
So like
they're for damn sure not holding out. I think that what we're really seeing here is the NIL treatment kind of trying to rear its ugly head into the NFL world. Leafs puts their salary is determined by the CBA. Stop complaining. Exactly. Like this is already a collective bargaining agreement that has already been put in. You're an NFL player, buddy. You're property of the NFL now. Like, sorry to put it, but like that's kind of how they treat it and how the NFL has always treated it. You're property of the NFL. You're property of that team. In a weird way, it's probably not the best analogy to use, but it's the only analogy that I know. It's very much like the military. You are property of the United States government. You are property of the United States military. You gotta abide by their rules, their pay, their whatever. So it is very much that. Shamar Stewart basically being the most shining example of this with the Cincinnati Bengals. Shamar Stewart really pushing it about wanting guaranteed money, feeling like he is probably worth more to that organization as a rookie than probably rookies on average really get paid for. I think that a big piece of this is NIL rearing its ugly head in and kind of because with NIL you're getting spoiled. You're getting spoiled. A lot of those NIL contracts they're fully guaranteed. They're coming with not just money, but they're coming with cars and they're coming with jewelry and like these college kids are getting hooked the fuck up. They already were USC Trojans. They already were, but now it's just like with NIL, it's like, oh, like everyone's doing it. It's all prevalent. All the kids are getting deals. But like this is the NFL. The world doesn't work that way. It doesn't work how it works in college. It's a little, NIL is breeding spoiled. And this is where it's the downside. Better season now, Robbie. Call it Sanders or JJ. It'll be JJ just because Sanders probably won't get to see the field as much as JJ. And even for the sample size that we're going to get to see him, let's remember that he plays for the Browns. So, one win for them for like that's whew, Sanders should have been a Saint for damn sure. Will forever be pissed, but the Saints are tanking for Arch. But no, like I think that it is a little bit of the rookie players coming in being spoiled, wanting to kind of have that same treatment they were given with their NIL deals. And I'm sorry, just the two don't convert. You are in two totally, completely, drastically different worlds. Shamar Stewart, get your ass on the field. That Bengals team needs you. That Bengals team needs a defense. Have you been seeing the memes that have been going on lately about that?
No.
That Burrow can't read it. Burrow can't read his secondary and shit. And like all like the video clips of like the Bengals defense not being able to break up like anything. Yeah, bro. Like, it's bad. It's bad. They, out of all the teams in OTAs, I think like the Bengals exited with not a single fucking turnover. Like their defense, even in practice, couldn't generate nothing.
I mean, let's face it like this, though. The Bengals are horrible at building teams, horrible at understanding their needs, horrible at assessing talent. They got lucky that they got Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
they're lucky that Joe Burrow was probably telling them, fuck all the bullshit, just give me Chase. I know we need an offensive line, but fuck that, just give me Chase. We'll win.
He wanted both of them. He kept both of them. He kept both of them. Like, is it responsible? No. Is Joe Burrow going to be playing on his back most of the season? Yes. Do they need a defense to be able to get that offense some damn breaks? Yes, because otherwise they're going to keep losing games by one freaking point. And they're going to need a defense that's going to be able to create some stops. So, I mean, I hate to say it, but find a way to give Shamar Stewart whatever the fuck he wants, especially if you're not going to give Trey Hendrickson a deal, because it's looking more and more like a deal. A deal could get done with Hendrickson. A deal could not get done. And if it doesn't get done, then where does Hendrickson go? Does he even choose to still play in the NFL? Like, so they really need to get Shamar Stewart signed, but I don't think that they can do it with guaranteed money. And I don't think that any rookie, a second rounder, should be getting guaranteed money. First rounders, of course, it should be guaranteed. Hands down. Second rounders, I don't know. Like, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I know that I thought it was Lemire or Lenore from the Niners that's facing charges. Or I think like I think his buddy. It was his buddy that had a gun. Yeah, that had a strap. And his buddy had gotten charged with that. But then Lenore had gotten charged with refusing to I don't think it was like handing over his ID, but like refusing to like let them search the vehicles. I can't remember what it was. Who do I take at number 2 in Dynasty? It's going to depend on what your needs are and what your scoring setting is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're needing running back, obviously Ashton Genty's going to go at 1, but there's no problems with grabbing Hampton. But if you're loaded at running back, then you wouldn't spend that capital on running back. 3 hours and 30 minutes at a pick 24 on, but that's wild. I feel like my team is dog shit, I won't lie. Except QB. We run 2 QBs. I got Lamar and CJ. 2 QB is probably good to always have at least another quarterback. When you're playing 2 QB, it's nice. And if you could grab like a Jackson Dart, it might be maybe a little, yeah. If you could grab like a Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, like guys that are going to be starting from day one, I like it better. You need a wideout. I have no problem with you grabbing Travis Hunter. I have no problem with you grabbing Travis Hunter. I have a question for you, Taco.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on commissioners, because of what Travis Hunter presents and what on the high end for fantasy, what that output could be? He's going to see some offense. He's going to see some defense. I'm sure there's going to be like a game or a couple of games where it's like, oh shit, he just got an interception on defense, but then on offense, and then he got a couple tackles on defense, but then on offense, he also scored a touchdown, or he got a touchdown on defense, and then he got a touchdown on offense. Do you think that commissioners should maybe adjust scoring because of because of that to kind of maybe balance it out, or do you leave it alone? I know what I'm doing before it was even announced that he is going to play both sides in the NFL, before Jacksonville was like, before Cohen a couple weeks ago came out and said that he was going to do it, I was like, I already told my league, I was like, this is even in the middle of last season, like back in October, I was like, next year we're adding an IDP player, so this is before it. But so that's what I'm doing to balance this out. I've already kind of figured out my strategy. What do you think that commissioner should do?
I think it's interesting to add an IDP player to give that offset of like, hey, listen, we have defensive players anyway, so now this scoring isn't just for this one guy, but it's for everyone else. The question would be, where's his designation? Because if he plays in an IDP spot, I mean, this dude becomes a fucking monster if he's also getting points for catching. So I almost think if you have IDP, they should be separate, much like they do in baseball. Ohtani's a pitcher and Ohtani's a hitter. He's not both. If I was running a league, I would not count the defensive plays, but I would count miscellaneous touchdowns. So if he did score like a touchdown, he would get the 6 from the touchdown. But in the standpoint of for like deflections, tackles, interceptions, fumbles, anything of that sort, I wouldn't give him the points because it creates a competitive imbalance where he could destroy your settings. Because if he is a monster like on defense and he's a solid offensive player, we've never seen anything like that in today's NFL. So he could literally break settings and almost become like a cheat code, which is the last thing that you want when you're running a competitive money league, is to have a guy that gives you a competitive imbalance, because then, guys get frustrated. It becomes kind of cheesy, and that's bad for morale, in my opinion. So I think it's a very tricky scenario. I do think you have to reward him for his big plays. Another thing that you could possibly add to make it more dynamic would be return yards. So this way, punt returners and your other returners that play, wide receiver and running back can get a little extra points. But also for him, when he maybe gets an interception, and if he runs it back for a decent amount, not only would you get the touchdown, but you get the return yards for that interception. I think that's one way to kind of give him a slight little bump. But it's tricky. It's going to be very tricky to kind of compensate and to figure out what's the right scoring for a talent like him.
I thought it was pretty interesting what Scott Fish did with Travis Hunter. I mean, obviously that's for Scott Fish Bowl, where you're having thousands of people kind of play, so you have to kind of figure out ways that balances things out, but then also does make it to where in a large field tournament, hey, fuck it, hey, that person drafted Travis Hunter, they reached, they took the risk, it is what it is. Here's what I'll say. They better just fucking deal with it. like straight up. Because why should I shortchange? If you took the risk to go and draft Travis Hunter, why should I shortchange you for being willing to take a risk that honestly probably could have easily fucking flopped?
But why should I change the scoring settings for you when in most traditional leagues, the best you would get is a miscellaneous touchdown?
Well, again, we've never seen anything like this.
That's right. That's why when you have a game breaker like that, it's hard to say, I'm not only going to change the rules for you, but now it's like, oh, well, fuck, now that you changed the rules for this motherfucker, I have to get him.
Yeah, there's that, as well. There's a very well possibility to where at the end of the season, all's well and ends well, and between seeing both sides of the ball, he still averages regular, standard amount of fantasy points per player. You know, that is within the realm of outcomes, especially depending on how the split is of offensive and defensive snaps for him.
But see, let's look at it like this. The closest player that we've had to something like him is Taysom Hill. And Taysom Hill had the uniqueness of being a tight end that played quarterback or had additional quarterback plays or had that designed run play where he was on offense the whole time. So he was like a cheat code that you didn't have to manipulate the configurations to unlock, which I feel like is different than what we see with Hunter. In order to unlock that defensive side, and this is where, again, I say for the miscellaneous touchdown has to be included. Like, if you're a league where you take that away, I don't think that's okay, because when you think about the way that this guy is, yes, that's the way for him to get.
Devin Hester was a great example.
Yes.
Dante Hall was a great example, although they were they were return specialists, but you were getting those points. You know, so we use this in a way.
Yes.
You know, Cordell Patterson.
Yes.
You know, Cordell Patterson would be line up as a receiver. Next thing you know, he's back there in the backfield as a running back. You know, it's to the point where the Atlanta Falcons in real football literally just put a J on his jersey, and they were like, "You're the Joker. We can align you and place you and play you wherever we want." So Cordell would be out there, fucking tight end. He'd be lining up at receiver. He'd be lining up at running back. Then you get points from him returning. You know, so I mean,
it's true.
Yeah, Devo also showed signs of being a Travis Hunter type, a wide receiver and a running back in a way. Yeah, Pat P was. I mean, there's been some similar. I don't think that anyone has had what the potential outcome could be of a Travis Hunter. You know, because if he, hell, even if you do just, you know, give him the pick sixes and, you know, the you know, so on and so forth, if that Jags defense turns out to be halfway fucking startable in fantasy and you're still maintaining keeping a defense in your league, so then if you have Travis Hunter in as a flex even, but then you also have that fucking defense, you're now still double dipping and getting those points. So there's a lot of strategy to approach it. I don't know if you change your settings per se, but you definitely approach with caution. Definitely approach with caution. I'm going to say this. I'm going to have him in a fuck ton of leagues. A plethora, so to speak.
Yeah.
Smorgasbord of bitches.
His upside is
incredible.
Is Ohtani-esque.
Very much. Let's get in to UFC 317 picks. I think this is a super fun card. I think this is a super fun card all the way through the prelims. Like, yeah, all the way through the prelims to the main event. Not gonna pick all of the fights, of course. I say we just put a card together. Of how do I say, a fight that you want to bet on. Let's say maybe what, no less than a 3, no bigger than a 6.
No bigger.
No less than a 3 leg, no bigger than a 6 leg.
Wait, Ilya Tapora is a minus 440 favorite?
Huh?
You're talking about for the card tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Oliveira is that much of an underdog?
Huh?
I said Oliveira is that much of an underdog?
Have you seen Ilya?
I mean, I know, but like Charles is. Listen, at plus 340, you give me a guy like Charles, that's a shot, bro. That man is dirty. Like he's also fucking sometimes a little bitch.
Least I think that line moved, bro. I
see
think you're looking at an
340.
old line.
I
Because
got
I have 330.
Yeah, even still.
What book are you on?
I just pulled up UFC. So it's the ESPN Plus one
Oh,
that I have.
so you're on you're looking at ESPN Bet.
I pulled up the UFC page and they're using ESPN Bet, I guess.
Oh, I'm using DraftKings. So this sounds all right. So this sounds like one that you guys are gonna have to shop your odds because it sounds like that this is gonna be scattered odds like all over the place.
Okay, so I'm gonna take Dariush. I'm gonna take Pantoja. I'm gonna take Oliveira in the upset. And just because I'm feeling ballsy, I'm gonna take Jack Hermanson.
Okay. Okay. I like
Yeah,
it.
I think that Moicano Dariush fight could be really interesting, but there's just something about Benny where I like to root for him. So I'm going a little bit more homers and favorites than gut predictions on wins. I don't know. I feel like I've been backing up a little bit on UFC.
Okay. Okay. Um, he, he said RoboCop is beating Hermanson. Okay.
There's a lot of Brazilians.
First off, I want to say that I am incredibly shocked. No, I'm not putting this fight on my card. I am incredibly shocked that Nico Price is still doing the damn thing. I am incredibly shocked. So first, let's throw that one out there for the old heads. He is absolutely going to lose. Smith is going to starch him. There's no need to throw that on the card. If you want to throw that on your card just as like a little freebie, just like kind of get the juice flowing, you can. Just be like, oh, one leg down. You can go for that.
Or throw like $1 on Nico.
Throw $1 on Nico. That'd be wild. That was it. And then Nico just like, babe, order the expensive steak. McKinney, I got McKinney's gonna win. I'm probably gonna end up going through and picking like almost over half of this card. Lisa, y'all horny for Tracy Cortez? Look, Tracy is too pretty to be fighting in the UFC. She's too much of a bag to be fighting. To be fighting in the UFC. Like she needs to be going like take her ass and go model somewhere. I don't know. But yes, Tracy Cortez is probably going to win. I feel like it's just like a gimme fight because like after her last outing, she did not look look great. So been watching the Insta. Follow her on Snapchat. Don't lose, Tracy. Don't lose. Because like if you lose this one, it is very much of a like I don't think that you can bet on Tracy Cortez moving fucking forward, and I don't know if it's like you should even be like continuing fighting. Yeah, she's definitely fighting a much easier competition, but like, is this just the UFC be like we're just gonna throw you this easy comp, and then like they're just gonna go and handle business? Like I don't know. I'm quite interested. So Hold up, whoa. What was that? Lawyer representing? Oh no, never mind. Don't care about that. Not discussing that on a Friday night. Delgado will take that. RoboCop's going to take that one. I don't care about the Lima fight. So yeah, I'm pretty much now just picking the rest of the card. I told you that I was going to end up doing it. I'm taking Moicano. Over Darush. Last time that we saw Darush though, homie can scrap. Like this is an even fight. This fight is probably gonna be the make or break of your card. Probably gonna be the hardest one. With this one, I'd say you just gotta be hoping that you're on the right side of the bag.
Yeah, or you stay away from this shit.
Huh?
Or you stay away from this one. This is one of the ones that could flip either side. Like if
Yeah.
you don't have a dog in the fight, I might just stay away from this one.
Yeah, Marciano's funny. He or Moicano. Moicano's funny. He is funny. I do appreciate Brev's trash talk. The Brandon Royval and Joshua Van fight, I think I might stay away from. Just because like part of me wants to be like no, I'm gonna go Brandon Royval there. I'm gonna go Royval. I get that Van is a better boxer, leaves. I get that. I'm gonna trust who I've made more money off of. So I'm gonna remain loyal with that one. Pinjota's gonna destroy Kai Kara France. That fight is super interesting, even at a plus 195, because Kai France can. He is that fighter that if he does land one, just so happen to be the right way, he has enough power behind that bitch to actually sit you the fuck down. You know, so that one is interesting, but Pinjota's just he's gonna get him to the ground and fucking end it. It's not that I'm taking the fighter that I know that I know more. It's just rocking with the money, rocking with the hot hand. Yeah, Pinjota's just gonna eat the shots, fucking put Kai on his back, and then just pour it the fuck on. And I am obviously taking Ilya Tuporev. Like there's no need for me to not take Ilya Tuporev. And I know that like, oh well, like what about like how fucking small he is? Like like you're not worried about like that, like and how lengthy Bear is to be able to wrap him up and like get a submission. No, I think Tuporev checks that chin a couple of fucking times and is able to sit him down. I'm riding with the Spaniard on that one.
Spaniard.
Yeah, he's from Spain.
Matador. That's a name right there. I don't know, man. This shit is gonna be crazy.
Hey, Dubrox has came through for us before, but it's also been a hot minute.
Well, see, what I like about him is that he has a 5-inch reach and a 4-inch leg reach. He's a little bit taller, and they're roughly around the same weight. I like that.
Alvarez definitely tall. Did you see the press conference where he tried a little boy?
Yeah.
Ilya? I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like Ilya's. I'm definitely not counting him out. I'm definitely not counting out Dubrox, but let's be real. Warriors fighting top top of his game right now. I mean, when you're fighting in your prime the way that he is, yeah, the head kick is definitely there for Duke Bronx. The size difference does play, if he can keep things at bay and keep, and kind of keep the fight rangy. If he doesn't keep the fight rangy, if he allows Ilya to get to those hips and really start, to wrestle and take him down, I think that we're going to see a lot more grappling and wrestling in that fight than we may anticipate, than we may expect, just because of what both of those guys can do in the grapple scenarios and in the grapple situations. That Josh Van and Charles will fuck your layup. Van, I wanted to be my original pick, but I literally changed it at the last second. Like, Van was going to be my original pick, but last second, right here on air, I changed it. Like, I know, and it's very hard. Like when you have that much repetitive, that much stamina throughout like a fucking year, like 6 fights. He's like, fuck changing it. Royval's gonna have a test roll. You know what? Fuck it. Just ride with Van. Ride with Van there. But I am definitely riding with Ilya all the fucking way. And I do worry about Tracy Cortez in the prelims, because it seems like she's been doing more social media and less focusing on the gym. Like, something just doesn't seem locked in. I mean, she's gonna win, but she better lock in this last 24 hours. Other than that, any final thoughts? Any final takes?
Nah, I'm excited. The draft seasons for the sports have finally concluded, and I think that now we have finally entered into the all right, baseball just keep us entertained enough to get us to September.
Yeah, we're at that point where it's like, yeah, in terms of like what to actually view,
perfect time to get ready for fantasy football.
I know that you don't watch it, but it is, I believe, the Rocket Mortgage tournament this week.
Golf? Yeah.
And look, golf is interesting because you can be the U.S. fucking Open champion one day. I saw a post and it was like, congrats to JJ Spawn, you won the U.S. Open champion. And then on Tuesday, you had to go and do every freaking media press in America. Then Wednesday, you got to go to practice. And then by Thursday, you got your shit pushed in by Scotty Scheffler, getting beat by I think it was 11 or some shit, 16.
Yeah. That's an unforgiving game.
Golf is so unforgiving.
And you can't blame nobody but yourself. So it's not like, God.
No, you can blame your caddy. You can blame your equipment. There's so much. Like, I can show you 2 different golf clubs right now from 2 different makers, and I can show you my swing with each of them. Completely different. The ball that you play matters. You'll never see someone win a fucking U.S. Open while playing a noodle. Like, that's not gonna happen. That ball's going right every single time. Like, that ball is not staying on the fairway. Like, it matters. Like, golf is crazy. Hardest sport I've ever done. Hardest sport I've ever played in my life. Like, and that's including baseball. Like Dominicano. Like, I grew up playing baseball. Like, I can much easier fucking hit a baseball than I can make it through 18 holes of trying to beat like 70.
Yeah.
72. Like, hell, I was happy when I got a 94 one time. I was like, that's the greatest day of my fucking life. Like, you know how frustrating it is when you when you hit the pin, you're trying to chip, you hit the pin and it just fucking lands right there, and so now you gotta go and putt. Like, Yeah. He said hardest sport. Hardest sport is cheese rolling. Yeah, I'm rocking TaylorMade. I'm rocking TaylorMade clubs right now. TaylorMade clubs are Titleist bag. My driver. You guys have seen my driver. My driver's a Ram driver. 3 was a Callaway. 1 was a fucking a Nike Elite. So yeah. But other than that, cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls what to do. We love and appreciate you. Dilly dilly, y'all. We are out of here. Peace.